Welcome to my new space. Sorry if it's a little bit echoey. We don't have a whole lot of furniture. We don't have any rugs in here. But in this video, I'm going to be answering some little FAQs about how I film. So I filmed a little bit of what I did today, and I figured that I would just kind of walk you guys through a typical chill vlog, what I use to film with. And spoiler alert, it's not a lot of things. So I hope that this kind of inspires you guys. If any of you guys have been using the excuse of I don't have a good camera or something like that for not starting a YouTube channel or not filming videos like you've wanted to, yeah, I hope that this inspires you to just do it. If you have a camera phone, you can. Which brings me to number one, and I get asked this all the time. Yes, I only film anything that you have seen on my channel since day one has been filmed with an iPhone 6S. That's all I use, unless there's like a random piece of footage from Kurt's cell phone, which is an iPhone 7. 8. And I have recently actually upgraded to the Rhino Shield cases because I was using a very cheap case for a long time. I'm pretty good with my phones, but yeah, I upgraded to Rhino Shield. You've probably heard of them. They are a company that makes really strong cases and really good like screen protectors and all that stuff. And they're actually moving into a lot more phone accessories, which I'll get into at the end of the video. But yeah, Rhino Shield came in clutch. They sent me a couple things, and literally the day that I got them, my cheap phone case broke. The button fell off, so I couldn't lock it. So anyway, yeah, Rhino Shield, excellent. Talk about them more later. And that being said, let's jump into what I did this morning.
Love you like a weekend. 주말처럼 당신을 좋아해. 달력에 빨간 글씨처럼 설레네. I love you like the weekend. I love you like the weekend. 당신을 손꼽아 기다리네. 당신을 손꼽아 기다리네. I love you like the weekend. Don't be cruel to me, 'cause I'm the shy.
Now hold up, you might be thinking, who's filming now? How are you doing this? Well, I typically don't like to film when I'm with other people. As you guys know, I suck at doing that with our meetups or when I meet other people. So 9 times out of 10, I'm using my handy dandy tripod. That's how I got shots like this when I went to Udo. It's how I got shots like this in the bookstore. I use this tripod and it's kind of awesome. I got this, I believe, at Artbox, but you can find them online. If you just search camera tripods, you can probably find these. It folds up really nicely. It comes with me everywhere. I'm using it right now to talk to the camera. Yeah, I could not film without this guy. I do also like lean my phone against things like this shot, but typically, yeah, it's this tripod, man. Kurt is a lot of things, but he is not an Instagram husband. Me and my tripod never lets me down. Also, what do I use as editing software? So my very first videos were made with iMovie, which comes free on Macs, but it's kind of limited, or maybe it just, I couldn't figure out how to use it, but there were a lot of things that I wanted to do that I couldn't do, so I decided to purchase Final Cut Pro, and that costs a lot. So definitely test out your free software first and see how much you can do with it, because you can do a lot. But yeah, so now I use Final Cut Pro. I don't use it to the full extent. I'm a very basic editor, but yeah, I pretty much use it to cut things, and I'm learning to do more with masks. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube about it. So yes, I use Final Cut Pro to edit all my videos. It's so funny, this market behind me, I don't want to film it because everybody who's working there is watching me, but I pass by that, I used to, on the bus all the time. And I've never actually stopped here, so it's so weird to finally be like on the ground, not on a bus. Onto a cafe. And oh, it's here, but I'm early, so we're gonna awkwardly walk around for a second. And yeah, here it is. Let's be awkward somewhere else. And just to pop in again, I'm using my tripod as well to take photos. And how I'm doing that, right now, technically I'm using a timer just because my tripod is quite old and it has now kind of died. But in the beginning, I could actually use this because it had a Bluetooth remote. And so I could use that remote and take photos like these guys. You can take your photo remotely, which I think is really cool. And around this time, I'm actually hooking up my phone to this beautiful giant battery. I just actually got this in a convenience store here in Korea. They sell these literally everywhere, but this can last me for like 2 days. I don't have to recharge it. It's amazing. It's quite heavy, but it's worth it because my iPhone the battery is just dying, which is why hopefully this summer I will be upgrading to a 10. But yeah, I need this at all times, and I just hook it up, bring my little cord with me, and yeah. And then whenever I stop in a cafe and I do find an outlet that I can use, I use my actual plug and I charge this as well as my phone. So that's how I kind of survive when I'm somewhere a little bit desolate and I don't know when I'll have access to charging my phone again. This battery, my lifesaver. This is the best croissant I've had in my entire life. I've never had an Earl Grey croissant before. I never want to have a plain croissant again. That I'm allowed to take this if they gave it to me. I don't know if they like recycle these, but yeah, I'm gonna put them, I have a little vase in my home and these are gonna be my first flowers at my house. I'm really excited. So I'm gonna head home, get these in some water, it's still alive, and yeah, let's go. And so yeah, that's typically what I use to film. I just need my battery, my tripod, and my phone. Super easy, and the rest happens once I get home. So as I already mentioned, I use Final Cut Pro, but a lot of people have asked me about color correcting, and I typically don't use it unless it's a very special vlog and I feel like it adds a little something. So like Hong Kong, I used it for all of the footage because I don't know, it felt like it added something. To me, Hong Kong is so cinematic. I'm used to seeing it through film, so I wanted to give it a little more than just your average iPhone footage. So the two apps that I use, one is Chromic. This is a free app, I'm pretty sure, and you just get a ton of different filters. You can play around with them. There's a lot of like filmy ones, which is really cool. Black and whites. I just really love Chromic. So that's the one that I use the most. But recently I finally bit the bullet. Is that the correct term? And I actually purchased the VSco, I don't know what it's called, like Pro, Plus, whatever. But so I have access to all of their photo filters, which are typically you buy the packs. And I use VSco all the time for my photos, but now I can use them for my videos, which is really cool because they also have a lot of like Portra and like Kodak Gold and all these different like filmy kind of filters, and you can really go in and edit little details like the saturation, the contrast, and stuff like that. So yeah, if you want to play around with giving your footage a different kind of color scheme, definitely check out those two. You can also do it within Final Cut Pro, but I find that it's a little bit difficult, and I personally like the filters that have been created for me already on Chromic and VSco. Yes, like I said, this summer I'm going to be upgrading, I guess next month actually, I'm going home next month. I'm going to be upgrading to the iPhone 10, and when I do that, I'm going to be able to use the Rhino Shield wide and macro lens. It is freaking bomb, and I'm so mad that only my boyfriend gets to use it right now, because the way that the lens works is it actually kind of screws into your case, which is really cool. So it's not a clip-on, it's a screw-on, so you don't get any of the like weird stuff in the corners, like the black in the corners or the really warped feeling when it's not quite on right. So unfortunately, they don't have it compatible with an iPhone 6. So yeah, they sent it over and my boyfriend has been using it, and it's just not fair, and I'm really, really excited to use it, because my only complaint about the iPhone 6 camera is that it's not very wide, and I tend to like wider shots. So yeah, I'm super, super excited. If you guys are looking for a wider lens for your camera, I highly suggest you check it out. It's such high quality. You don't get the weird warpness, you don't get the weird blackness. It's really great, and you can, like I said, you screw it directly on, so there's no case of it like falling off or whatever, like one of my cheap clip-on ones did. So yeah, Rhino Shield, thank you so much for sending that over. Definitely check them out. It's really cool. I'll link all the information down below, and I will actually show you. So here's an example.
No?
Yep. And last but not least, the question I get all the time. This is by far, after what camera do you use, this is by far the most asked question. How am I so steady? I just had an Americano, so I might be a little bit shaky now, but I don't know, I have pretty steady hands. If I wasn't a YouTuber, I could have been a surgeon, you know. I tend to walk a little bit slower. I tend to bend my knees more. I'll show you. I'll have Kurt film me walking, and I'll just show you how I walk smoothly. Now I feel so stressed. Basically what it is just take your time. Don't walk like a normal person. Just walk, you know, slowly. My friend Kayla used to do a lot of dance covers here when we were studying abroad, and she didn't have a tripod. So I would literally be her tripod. I could stand still and hold the camera as if at like same steadiness as a tripod for like the 3 to 4 minutes that she would be dancing for each take. So yeah, I just have really steady hands. The iPhone also has a really good stabilization built in. Sometimes, one time I tried using a different app, like filming through that app, and that app didn't have the stabilization that the iPhone had. I wasn't even aware of how much the iPhone stabilizes my videos until I tried another one, and I was like, rah, rah, rah. So yeah, the iPhone, generally a really great camera, and I'm really appreciative of it. And that's literally it, guys. The only thing that really cost me was Final Cut Pro, and then I don't even know what VSco was, but it clearly didn't break the bank. My tripod was probably $5, and then my phone, I mean, it's a phone. I was gonna have one anyway. So really, before you purchase a $500 camera, before you say, oh, I can't film because I don't have this like really cool expensive thing, stop that and just use what you got. Maybe someday I will upgrade to a proper camera. There are a few things that I like that cameras can do that my phone can't, but for now I'm very happy with what this does. And yeah, everything you have seen has been on an iPhone, so no excuses. If you want to start, just start. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this answered your questions. Sorry that it wasn't anything mind-blowing. I highly suggest you check out Chromic, even if it's just like for fun. And also really check out Rhino Shield. Their cases are great, their film protectors are great, and their lenses are bomb. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Thanks as always for watching. Sorry again if this was echoey. It sounds echoey to me. But yeah, I will catch you guys later. Thanks as always. Bye.